It's Wednesday, my dudes, and tonight we welcome a toy photographer who has a real cinematic style. He paints with light. His lighting is beautiful. You might say he really lights up a room. Thank you, Steve, for that one. Anyway, we're talking about the one, the only Ian Saunders photography. He's going to join us tonight. We're going to talk about lighting. We're going to talk about toy photography. And we're going to talk about some awesome stuff he's doing in the 3D printing space, too. So what are we waiting for? Why don't you start the show?
Hello.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday.
Welcome to episode 107. 107. The road to No, we're not doing the road to 420. Who's that? No, that's the Migos. Yeah. I mean, I guess we are on the road to 420, but that is
Technically yes.
Pipeline away. So it is episode 107. We got Ian Saunders with us tonight. That's pretty cool.
Hell
Excited
yeah.
to talk to him. But how are you, Machu? Are you recovering from the birthday celebrations?
Yeah. I took a nap on the I didn't intend to take a nap on the couch. It just happened that I sat on the couch, started watching TV, and then I time traveled. It was a few hours later. Yeah. Good thing I didn't miss the show again.
Yeah, luckily you woke up just in time, so that works. Yeah. What'd you get this week? Anything good? Did you get anything good?
Well, I got the Biker Gomez in yesterday. I haven't opened that yet. I think Toy Father, he went live earlier while I was in a coma. And I was started to watch it, but then I was like, I gotta get ready for the show. But I know he unboxed it and probably took a shot with it earlier today.
Cool.
But I also got in this guy.
Nice. Hey, I'll give you get you up there. He looks good.
Yeah. Simple, very simple.
Yeah.
Comes with a bunch of hands. 1, 2, 3, 6 sets of extra hands, another head, a bag of money, and then a stack of money, and then the cane.
Bag of money, a stack of money, nice little accessories.
Yeah.
How's the is he obstructed in the ab crunch with his jacket, or is just not?
Oh, of course. There's no ab crunch.
Yeah.
He's not doing any sit-ups or anything under this.
Yeah.
The only other bummers that I have about this this figure is he has 2 left feet.
What?
He has 2 left feet.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Did you reach out to Mofex about him?
No, because I know I'm not going to get anything back from it. They're going to tell me to probably send the figure back. But it doesn't really bother me that much because you're not going to notice it in photos.
Yeah. But he can't dance now. He's got 2 left feet.
Yeah, it's weird. And then I did notice that his arm kind of falls apart pretty easily.
Ooh.
So not always the best.
Yeah.
Premium figures. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
You know what I'm saying?
It's really weird though. 2 left feet feels like a weird thing.
But 2 left feet and his arm's falling apart. And
yeah.
Oh, and I did get in those head sculpts from the Ferrule store.
Oh yeah,
I was talking to us about. I got one for the Sentinel Spider-Man.
It looks good. I like the big eyes on that. Yeah.
This was supposed to be for my Renew Your Vows figure, but I put it on my Mezco. But this is another head that I really liked.
Well, that's cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
It's classic. Yeah.
And then I thought I ordered the gaming version of Scarlet Spider. And I was like, oh yeah, I got it for $10 instead of $15. And it was the hoodie that I got. So I had to put in another separate order for head sculpts. So that I'll be waiting for those. But not bad for a $10 hoodie. You know?
No.
And the hood itself is wired.
Oh, okay. That's good. Because I feel like the other one that you got wasn't like that, right?
No, it wasn't really like that. I mean, the quality was good in that Bestley Studio hoodie. The only thing that I noticed a difference of was you could see the threading, you could see the lines on the threading on the $10 hoodie that I got. While the Bestley, it's it looks like it's sized perfectly for 112.
Gotcha.
So that's the only difference. I mean, $10 versus I don't remember how much I paid for that other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What'd you get?
I got a couple of things. I do want to shout out. I got these Tim Oliphant, who is an artist, Ninja Turtle artist, did these trading cards. And I ordered a set. It's all things that he's painted, but it was just really well done. So it's like a set of 10. He put them in the protectors, which is cool. But like you got the shot that he did there,
and
then on the back it's full size too. So
that
you just
that's the game, right? That's from the old school.
Yeah, like here he did the the party dude from the opening, and then
that's awesome.
So this was cool. This was cool to get. And then the only other thing that I got that I actually opened or started to open was the last run in NECA Casey Marie. So she looks good though. I will say the paint and stuff much better than I think it looked in the photos. I mean, I was gonna get it no matter what, but is she what?
Is she pinless?
Yeah, actually, looks like she is. Oh,
yeah, she's pinless. Look at that.
That's new for NECA. And of course comes with the bike, which is cool.
That's nice.
Stylized. I mean, this is it in terms of articulation, and I don't know why, but I was like, oh, the wheels don't really move, but you're not rolling with it, so it's okay. But it also came with, I like when they come with stands so that you can move the bike around. So it's got a little stand.
Well, I also noticed that bike is like a little futuristic, right? It has no spring.
Yeah, no, it's like a mix of like a like a classic Harley and then a little futuristic because
like a cyberpunk.
Yeah. So
I think I'm gonna pick it up for that bike, but that figure also looks really good.
She's good, honestly. Like when I was looking at her, I was like, she feels like Punchline, right? Is that Joker's daughter? Like she could easily be a Punchline figure.
She looks like a DC character.
Yeah, or a female Nightwing, right? So but
that's like a mix of domestic and import looking figure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
She came with 3 head sculpts too, which I was surprised at. I didn't even realize. So yeah, that was cool. She's got a little since he's been hot topic, little Ryu head there, So, and then kind of this more like relaxed, smiling head that she's also got like a helmet on. So
see, Chaney would like that, a smiling head.
Yeah, there you go, Chaney, smiling head. So they're Chaney. NECA's doing smiling heads. She's also got soft goods that again I haven't had a chance to really open up, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes throughout the night. Well, I'll tell you right now, there's no wires in it, so there's that. So, but yeah, I think I just dropped the head. Well, that's gone forever.
Until the end of the show.
Till the end of it. So anyway, let's see who we got going on in the chat here before we get everybody in here. So Steve, thank you very much for that little help with the intro. That's always nice to have. We got Dom checking in here. Jellyfigs is here. Josh Brown. Josh, it's Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday. Sneaky Figures is here. Paul Morales. We got Steve checking in again. KJ Smith is here. Don't forget, I did a good time watching them last Friday. Don't get to check out Highly Posable on Friday nights.
They're gonna have the Toy Daddies.
I can't wait to see how Chris does on.
I don't think he's gonna be there.
Oh, that tracks. It's too late for him. Vader Suggs is here. Cal Collector saying he's super excited to talk to Ian. We are too, man.
Yeah,
we are too. There's Highly Posable right there. Pincy Picks is here. We got Toy Migos checking in. Cindy is here. Rowdy Riles. I know, Rowdy. There's so many streams on Wednesday.
Yeah,
but the good thing is you can watch us live and then watch everybody else later. So that's the only way you should do it. I'll be honest with you. Watch us live and watch everybody else later. Johnson the Ross is here, man. Beast Boy is here. Jurassic Jesse, wishing you a happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Machu got the Samurai Jack hair today. All right, we should talk about that a little bit too. Dom saying so he can't dance. No Chewing is here. You talk about the Toy Daddies. Toy Daddies were on Monday, and Chris has been going. Toy Father's been going live with a bunch of streams all week. So make sure you're subscribed to their channel. Agent Variant is here. Dom's starting a story. We'll check in with that story later. He'll probably finish it later. Let's see who else. We got Cap Lives is here. ABX of Clicks. Glad to catch the show. We're glad you're here, man. We're glad you're here. Claudio's here. What's up, Claudio? And of course, we got Yanni. Yanni, what's going on, Yanni? Look at Toy Me goes, yay, smiles. Oh, there you go.
See?
Spirit of Lost Run a 3-pack. I pre-ordered that already too. I'm excited for that one. That was the three ghost turts. Old Grumpy Nerd is here. Who else we got? Let's see. Joker's daughter is Dula Dent. Punchline is, well, it really depends on the writer. All right, well, again, that's I don't claim to be a DC guy. Diggs Figs is here. Let's see, who else we got? And Wade Creates is stopping by. So there you go. We got everybody here. So we might as well bring Ian. He it looks like he just finished his drink, so it's not going to be awkward where he comes on and he's got to swallow anything. So don't clip that, Plasty. Don't clip that. But we should be good. We should be good. So here comes Ian. Welcome, Ian. Ian, excited to have you, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I have a little friend here who is super excited to make her YouTube debut.
Look at this.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and she passed out. She was so excited. She saw what Monster looks like in person, and she just passed out. She's too handsome. That's the problem. So she wanted
to play boo-boo, okay? Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks for stopping by.
Guys,
go watch the show. We can use the viewership,
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. As the resident bald guy, I would just like to say that I'm jealous of your luscious heads of hair that are gracing my StreamYard screen right now.
Thank you. This is just what happens after a nap.
Mine's a wig, so it's okay.
I'm
gonna start that rumor. Just have people coming up to me pulling my hair. Then I'll start calling everybody daddy. Anyway, we'll skip right over that. Ian, thank you, man, for being here. I know that we've been going back and forth for a while, and it's awesome to have you. And I can tell just from the way people are excited to have you, or it's excited to talk to you. And yeah, man, I actually would like to know about kind of just how you got started.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I wore my Ninja Turtle shirt for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I got started during the pandemic, pretty much just like the large majority of this community. I had toys as a kid, but never really collected as an adult. I've been doing photography for almost 20 years now. I started in astrophotography. If you scroll way back into my feed, you'll see I used to take pictures of, you got to go way back because I was pretty prolific with the toy photos in the past few years. But I have a bunch of telescopes, and I would hook my camera up to my telescopes, and I was taking pictures of galaxies and nebula and star clusters and just deep space objects was what I was really into. And then the pandemic hit, and I also did landscape photography. I travel a lot, so I always had my camera with me. And the pandemic hit, and then I wasn't really traveling anymore. My daughter was born in 2018, and that's kind of when I stopped doing astrophotography because no more late nights under the stars for me at that point. It's something I would love to get back into, but when she's a little bit older and I'm getting more sleep, that'll come back. But I was primarily a landscape photographer, and then when the pandemic hit, there was no travel, nothing, but that itch for photography was still there, you know? And my stepson had bought me a NECA Xenomorph.
Okay.
Right. And that was the first toy. And I was just holding this thing, and as such a massive fan of the movies, I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. This is just so cool. And I loved it. And then I stumbled upon a video of Sergeant Bananas on Adam Savage. What is it? Adam Savage's Tested. Yeah. I stumbled upon that, and he was doing Popeye, and he had all these diorama props and everything, and I was like, holy moly, this is freaking cool, right?
Yeah.
So when I got into toy photography, I was lucky enough to already have a background in photography, so I already knew the basics, and I knew I was comfortable around a camera. It was just kind of adapting to the miniature scale and learning how to make those worlds come alive, really, but yeah, my first shot was just that NECA xenomorph with just a couple LEDs I had set up. I had no dioramas, nothing. It was just, just him. And I was just addicted after that, man. I just never slowed down.
I mean, we'll talk about the xenomorph in a minute, but look at this, dude. This is crazy.
So the moon is really easy to photograph, actually.
Easy.
No, it is. It's very easy. It's very bright. But like if you keep going even further back, you'll see a bunch of like deep sky objects. And little did I know when I got into astrophotography, so there's some Milky Way stuff there, but it is literally the hardest form of photography you could possibly do because so that's Pastel Canyon out
that's a background. That's what that is. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that place is gnarly. It's Valley of Fire, just outside of Vegas. So it's about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Vegas, and it is like stepping foot on Mars. It's absolutely insane. But back to astrophotography, you can't see the object that you're trying to focus on, right? Like it's so far away. Like so that picture is significant because I captured the Earth shine. So not only does the moon reflect sunlight, but it also reflects reflected light from the Earth, right? So that image is really hard to capture because the Earth shine is so dim. But yeah, I got it there.
And Steve says, you took stock photos for Windows?
I wish, man.
I think these are better.
Dude, you can use these for backgrounds for toy photos too.
Dude,
But a lot of the stuff, you got to keep going. There's
all right. No, I'm not afraid of the challenge to keep scrolling. Don't you worry.
There's the thing about deep space objects is these are like, that's poo. They're like millions and millions of light years away. So if you think about light, there you go. So there's a galaxy. I shot that from my backyard.
You shot this from your backyard?
I sure did. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know we talked about
so I added some effect on there. That was me messing with something, but
all right.
That's good though.
Yeah, but you can't see that with the naked eye, right? And when you look through the eyepiece of a telescope, it looks almost like if you took a pencil eraser and kind of smudged the sky, right? You can't see the detail. So it really takes long exposure photography so there's the one without the animation,
So
that's what the raw image looks like.
How long of an exposure are you taking on these photos?
Oh man, it's so complicated. So there's no one answer for that. There's
You're just
no one
testing
answer.
it out. It's always an experiment.
It has to, yes. And not only that, but you have to do several different things. And I mean, this is kind of convoluted. I'll try and narrow it down as easy as possible. But you have to do something called light frames, dark frames, bias frames, and there's one more, but I forgot. But basically, you're shooting at such high ISOs that it's just a competition with noise the whole time, right? Because you're shooting something so far away. That's the Andromeda Galaxy right there.
Jesus.
So you have to take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos, like literally all night long as the weather and cloud cover permit, right? And then you got to come back the next day when the sun's up, and you got to cover up your telescope, and you take dark frames, which basically is just taking pictures of sensor noise, right? Then you take your bias frames, which is taking pictures of vignettes and lens distortion and stuff like that. And then you take pictures of just sensor noise, right? And then what you do is you put these all you stack them. And what happens is after you have like 1,000 of these images, you have a random array of red, green, and blue pixels just stacked on top of each other, and they end up canceling each other out until you get an image that you can actually see. Because you're shooting at ISO 32,000 and above.
Wow.
Yeah, you're shooting at very high
That's really
ISOs.
grainy then. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So the whole thing is just a competition of noise, and then over the it's so difficult, man. Like over the long exposure, your camera produces heat, which also adds noise, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then not only that, you keep your shutter open for an amount of time, and what happens is radiation from outer space is pummeling your sensor over the course of a long time, and you get these blown out red, green, and blue pixels, just hot pixels, from just radiation hits. And so it is a very, very difficult form
Yeah.
of photography, and I had no clue when I got into it, that that's what it was going to be like, but I learned everything from Reddit. That's how I learned to
Oh,
do it.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
These are stunning though, dude. I mean, like, yeah, I mean I know you just, but like even and it's also interesting because like as we scroll back, you can start to see how this then influenced your toy photography shots. So, but like these are, I'm assuming this is a real taxi.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
You weren't sure if it
I
was
don't
a
remember
toy?
where it was, but
I wasn't sure.
yeah.
Well, it's got a New York plate, so I'm assuming it's pretty close.
It might not be in New York
Oh,
though.
all right.
Honestly, so I travel for work. Oh wait, maybe it was. I don't know, man. I mean,
That's okay. It's in Buffalo.
what does it
It's all
say?
right.
New York,
This
Buffalo.
is
There you
Buffalo.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. Where the buffalo wings were invented.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude,
Anchor Bar.
I,
You ever been to Anchor Bar?
I don't think I have actually.
No.
That's where the original buffalo wing was invented. I've
Maybe
been
I
there
have.
twice. And guess
Maybe
what?
I
It tastes like buffalo wings.
Tastes like buffalo. They taste like buffalo.
Yeah.
The buffalo wings taste like
Yeah.
buffalo. But dude, these are incredible. And this
Thank you,
I
man.
understand that the star photos or the photos of the galaxies might be like works, like real difficult and challenging, but damn man, did you really nail them? I mean, like you could even see in the comments here, people are saying they don't look real. They're so good they don't look real. So
What's
but
crazy is like
wait,
anybody can do
I'm never
this.
doing anything sketchy within a mile of this guy. He'll see it,
I'm
Wade.
watching
He'll
you.
see it. He'll see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
uh,
but anybody can do this.
yeah.
It just takes a little bit of trial and error. And I mean,
Yeah.
if you've got a backyard, like you can take pictures of deep sky objects. It's absolutely crazy. You
Yeah.
don't need NASA. I mean, obviously NASA is going to produce better photographs than anybody in their backyard because they're in outer space with satellites. They don't have to deal with atmosphere. When you're looking through a telescope, when heat rises off the pavement and you get that kind of squiggle
Yeah.
effect, that's what the atmosphere does.
So
So
I
when you're
actually had to
looking through a
close. I had to
telescope,
close that window because the heat was coming off of the photos. So
yeah,
they
there
were so good.
you go. Yeah,
Oh,
but the telescope. So you're also battling with that. It's just like this squiggling. It looks just like the heat rising off the pavement, and
Oh, okay.
so the object you're trying to photograph is like moving around and yeah, it's crazy, man. It's hard. I would love to get back into it one day.
hey, yeah, that's well, if you do, I'm sure it will be great. We got a couple of people I want to say hi to. We got Toy Rensu hitting us with
What's up, nerds?
there it is. Apparently Bachu went through puberty in his last birthday and his voice is currently cracking. That's why.
No shame
Also
in
want to
it.
just call this out. Amy X of Click saying by far one of my favorite artists, Ian
Oh,
Saunders.
man.
Ian,
That's so
he's a
kind.
good
Yeah,
call
he's
out.
so supportive of me on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, man.
We got the Figure Fight Club stopping by saying what up. Of course, he's the OG TFFC. Go check out Chat Migos last night. We talked with him a little bit. It was pretty cool. And then let's see who else we got. Old Grumpy Nerd saying obbies everywhere. That's funny. Mike is here. Good old High School Creations. He's been posting some pictures about corners. Corners coming soon, it looks like. Yeah, scrolling. I've reached the beginning of the internet. You're not wrong. Yeah, Toy Renzi wants to know, how is this real? The Earth is flat and space isn't real. So
That is true.
And then we got Jurassic Jesse saying, I think I see the Silver Surfer flying around in one of those pics.
That's a bad omen.
Yeah, that is a bad omen.
You are not wrong. We got Mikey singing by the Figure Club saying ahoy ahoy. And I believe that is everybody. Fantastic feed, Ian. So there you got another big fan.
Thank you, my friend.
Puberty macho. That's it. But yeah, dude. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I clearly in my my pre-work before this call, I didn't scroll far back enough to see that. So that was a real treat, dude. That was a real treat to see.
Yeah.
To see some of those
Well, thank
photos.
you,
I
man.
mean, there's a ton of great shots that you've got in your feed as well. Newer shots, but like that was just something unbelievable. To
Well,
see.
you know, like I got most of my following from the toy community, you know, and the majority of people don't know that about me and don't know that they've never been that far back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people, I mean, I've talked about it with some people and I've talked about it on some other streams in the past or whatever, but the vast majority of people don't know that I used to do that and that's in my gallery at all, you know?
Yeah.
So
In your repertoire. Is there
repertoire.
Yeah, Machi, is there a shot that you want to go over, or should we just kind of go through a little bit about
Let's go through it.
his newer stuff here? Yeah, dude, I do want to call out, you know, like you put it here, but you know, we also talked about it in the beginning. Like you have such a style, and it is so good, and it is clearly influenced from, you know, like classic cinema or just even cinema in the beginning. What would you say? You know, is there a movie or a group of movies that have really kind of leaned into you, or you leaned into your
You know,
towards your style?
no, not necessarily a single movie, but
Huh?
the film noir genre in general is a big influence on my style. And I don't watch a lot of film noir or anything. I just have this I think this idea of like the hard-boiled detective and just you know visibly having a hard time draped in shadows, just the mystique of a man in a hat in the shadows, and just you know this imagery from like I mean as you go through my work you'll see like I deal with shadows a lot. Like
Yeah, you do.
it to me
And the shadow.
yeah, and the shadow. I think the story is more in the shadow. I think for me, it's more important to hide information and leave some up to the viewer
Right.
Sure.
to interpret rather than to just show it all. You know what I mean? So that's a recreation, obviously, of a famous movie that came out recently. Which did you guys see that?
I've not.
Nosferatu?
I've not, and I know that everyone said to go see it in the theater too.
Yes.
But, yeah,
I had to go and see it twice in the theater.
Getting to the theater is tough to begin with, and then getting to go to the theater alone, because that is not something that my wife is going to want to watch. Nor do I think that I can bring the kids. So
yeah,
it makes it tough. But I will definitely be.
Well, if you whenever you get a chance, beautiful movie. Like you can pause any frame in that movie, and you have a gorgeous photograph. Like the movie is just such a pleasure to look at, and the whole thing is just drenched in candlelight, and it's just a gorgeous movie. Highly recommend.
Nice. We're gonna click on Henrock's comment here, and I'm gonna do my best impression. So darkness and shadow is your ally. Yeah.
That's good, man.
That was good.
Really, what Ian is saying.
Yeah.
Toy Renzi says, Jeebus, not surprised he takes these kinds of photos, bro. Took pictures of galaxies far, far away. This is great, man. And then I do actually, there was another comment here that I think, Matt, you started. It says, Man Beast Boy wants to know, what's your recent favorite shot? I know they're your children. We love them all. It's tough, but
I'm
there's always
trying
like
to
one or
remember.
two that you're like, yes.
I really like that Nosferatu shot. It's the one right above Batman in the alleyway.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, no, I like.
I don't know, man. I think that I'm harder on myself than a lot of
So
people might be. Like, I find a lot of flaws, and I mean, there are photos that, like, when I take it, I'm super excited to share, and then like a day or three goes by, and I'm like, man, I should have done this or I should have done that, and then it kind of starts dipping in my
yeah.
favorites list. But the three that I have pinned are three of my favorites that
Okay.
I've taken. But
Well, so talk to us a little bit about this shot. Like, was this a probe lens? How did you know what I mean? Like, give us
this
a
is
little
a
bit of a
probe lens.
breakdown here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the diorama is made by Diorama Boy. I don't know if you guys are familiar
Yeah.
with him, but he does great work, and you can't beat his prices, man. He just kills it. And all the trash and graffiti and everything, it all, like, everything in the dio except for the rat and the two figures came
Uh-huh.
with the dio.
Oh wow.
And this shot was taken right before the release of the movie, which I was super pumped about, and it was just kind of overwhelming, everything I thought about at the time. And here's a funny story. So I put that lightning
Yeah.
effect on. I was like, finally, I'm going to make like a reel that's cool. Like, I'm going to make a cool reel. And I put the lightning effect on and went through it. And then I looked at it on my phone. I was like, this sucks. I'm just going to add it to the carousel.
Yeah.
But
No, it works though with the lightning
It does
effect,
work.
I think. Yeah.
It does
yeah,
work.
but
And
that was
also
me
blame
trying.
Steve for that, because he said swipey for BTS. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all Steve's fault. Yeah.
I that was me trying to do something. I'm not good at video, which is why I hate doing it, because I don't know what I'm doing.
See, I
So
started the opposite. I was into video and I wanted to like learn photography more.
mhm,
That's why I started my photography account.
very
So no,
cool.
but
Yeah,
like
and I mean, most of the stuff your videos are great, Machu. I love, like, it's like you do all these different poses and you set up all these different poses, and each one of those could make a fantastic photograph, but you do something different rather than just snapping the photo. Where,
thank you.
like, sometimes you even tell stories with the progression of the poses. And
That's what I
yeah.
try to do. Like just try to tell the story to make it like so that way you can see the
Mhm,
progression in the photo, but like I
yeah,
don't have to explain what's going on.
yeah,
And I
that's
feel like you
super
do that with
cool.
your photos too. It's like you don't have to have a caption and your photos just tell a story. And like you said, you use the shadows to your benefit.
Yeah,
And normally I'll tell
I'm big
people
on
like,
the story element.
yeah,
I
you can
feel
clearly
like
see it.
photos need to have a story. Well, they don't need to have a story. If it doesn't have a story, it's just a portrait. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure.
But I feel like a photograph with a story allows you to linger longer. And in
Hmm.
this world of, you know, 0.2 second, like, the amount of time you have sat on this photo is the longest time anybody has ever looked at this photo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have 2 second attention spans these days, and it's just I forgot where I was going with that, but I just the story element. I feel like I need to have a story in there, like,
Yeah.
so I mean, you got, the origin story kind of thing
Yeah.
going on
Wait,
right here, but I try and tell a story with all of my photographs. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen, or sometimes I just get burnt out and I'm like, you know what? I just want to shoot a portrait. Like, I
yeah,
don't have a story in mind.
yeah.
I'm just gonna go for something, but I try to tell a story with each of my photos.
And usually they come out like with your use of the shadows, like you said. I'll normally tell people like you need to light your photo a little more, but like with your photos, the the differences in the highlights and the shadows is so good that like you could actually see the story going on. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'll never be a successful toy photographer. Like, I'll never work for a company. I'll never, like, I can't do it. Like, companies would just holler back at me like, "You can't see the photograph, bro," or "You can't see the toy, guy." Like,
Yeah.
Oh, because they want
why,
the glamour shots.
yeah, yeah. I just can't do that. Like, I'm
Mhm.
more interested in the art of it, and
Right.
like, I like to play with shadow. I just think that, I don't know. I just think there's just this allure and this attraction to shadows. Like, you highlight everything and you drench it, and look how many lights
I was
Look
just
how
gonna
many lights
say,
are in
yeah,
that.
let's talk about that. Yeah.
You
You're
know,
shooting at a low ISO, right?
yes,
Hang
I
on here.
always start. I usually shoot. So my camera will go as low as 80.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, so I was at what 250 or 200 there. My
Yeah,
eyesight's
looks like
going.
200. Looks like 200.
But yeah, I
Might be
usually
200.
shoot anywhere between 80 and 320 or so, somewhere in there. And that's usually where I start is, because I want my image to be clean. So I always start with a low ISO. And then I dial in my lights, and then there's no scientific method. I just look at the back of the screen and I start dialing in my shutter speed until it starts, looking right.
Right.
And then, I think about my depth of field and do I want it to be, a shallow focus? Do I want it to be deep? Like what am I going for here? And I just do the settings as I go. Like there's no grand strategy to it. I just use my eye,
So like something like this, like how long does this take you? Like, do you sit with this for days? Do you have the idea first? Do you just start? What do you got?
I have
How do
the
you
idea first. It always
Okay.
starts with an idea. And then
Okay.
like every shot is different. But typically what I'll do is it'll start with an idea and then I'll set it up. And usually what happens is I find that the idea I have in my head doesn't really work in camera, right?
Okay.
And then I
Right.
have to alter it and I have to kind of fudge it around and figure out how to make this idea work in inside of the frame. But yeah, it always starts with an idea. And like if you go back to the main photo, like here's another one. I love this photo, but like I made a huge mistake in this that bugs me to this day. But like
Oh boy.
the hands on his parents are not centered. And I'm just like, ugh, why did I do that? Like the whole image should be just a straight line down the center.
I got you.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
I
mean,
it's not what I was looking for, but like,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
yeah.
I can,
Yeah,
I was gonna say I can understand how you're frustrated by that, but I would think anybody looking at this is like, wow, they're so stunned by everything else. I can't imagine somebody's gonna go like this and then go, no, his hands aren't centered. Fucking, I'm out.
So I went through a tough time. Like I don't mind talking about it, but I went through a divorce and all kinds of things, and I was trying to get a new place and get things together in my life, and I was running low on funds, and so I put this photo up long after I had taken it, but I put it up and I was like, hey guys, I'm making 10 of these, 10 prints only, 10 prints. And I will only ever make 10 prints. And if you want one, now is the time. This is the only time it'll ever happen. And I only sold one. So there, Zach, Sequential Plastic, thank you, buddy. He's got a one of one of this image out there.
Do you still have the other 9? Because I'll buy one. I didn't even know.
No, I never. I printed them to order because I didn't have the extra funds to print them and then send them out. Right. So like I had to receive the funds first to get it printed. So I only got one order and I only printed one. So
I would have jumped on it. I just didn't even know you had it. So if you want to do print more, I'll take one. And
well, I made a promise. I made a promise and I signed and numbered it for him. So this one will never get printed again. And Sequential Plastic has it.
All right. So we'll break into Sequential Plastic's house and steal it. So
I might do it with another print in the future. We'll see.
All right, let's see. We do have a very generous $4.99 super hat here from Henrock, who says his favorite shot is the Dick Tracy struggling. I think he's strangling prune face with the telephone cord. So let's pull that one up. Oh, here it is.
Thanks, Henny.
Right next to it.
Yeah, it's also one of my favorite images.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you? Because I know that you're also a creator with a lot of this stuff too. Did you make the telephone cord? Is that part of a prop or
no? It is just an AliExpress.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Vintage telephone. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. Because I mean my what's the word I'm looking for? What I'm really attracted to in toys is a vintage vibe. Like I really like vintage stuff. So I have a lot of vintage props and stuff because it just fits with my aesthetic and what I like to shoot. I don't like these Dick Tracy figures. Like when I found out Mezco was making them, I was like, the gods have listened to my prayers.
I will say that your shots have sold me on all these Dick Tracy figures. Like every time I see them, I'm like, damn it, I needed that figure. So like, it's always back to me like trying to hunt down, like I had to get that Dick Tracy figure. I got it from Diggs Figs. Like after seeing a bunch of your shots, Prune
Really?
Face. Who did I get Prune? I think I asked Darius the Amazing if he had an extra Prune Face, and he was able to send me that. But
What's sad is I think a lot of people slept on these figures.
they did. I'll admit I slept on them. And
I think a lot of people did, and because of that, I don't know if they'll continue the line.
Yeah,
which really bums me out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I'm not. I don't know anybody from Mezco. I've never talked to anybody from Mezco. I have no clue, but it just seems like. And the Shadow is another one that's like totally up my alley that they made, and people slept on it, and now it's going for like $400 on eBay. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. We've talked with we've had the hangout on here with Toy Page and a couple of the guys. And
I watched that episode.
Yeah. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate you watching.
Yeah.
But they've said if you don't if you want figures to continue, you got to buy them and you got to pre-order them. Like I think pre-ordering is the key.
It makes sense, right? How are they to judge? Like I mean, if I were to put something out there and I only sold one or two of them, like I'd be like, well, there's no interest.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you get like months later or years later, you'll have people like, I didn't know this was available. Like, how can I order one? And then you're just like, well, I stopped making these like years ago. I don't know, So
So I would, I mean, if they made every character, I would buy every figure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I have them all. I would love some of the villains are so like gnarly and grisly looking. Like fun. I would love more of the Rogues Gallery, Lips Manless and Big Boy Caprice. Like at least give us Big Boy, the big villain of the series. Like I would love that figure. But I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any more.
I want an Itchy for sure.
I think
Itchy.
Oh, Itchy.
Yeah.
I think with the Dick Tracy line, I think it was more like after the problem was like 89 Batman left a lot of people like bitter about Mezco, right? And I think after that, things that came after that was a little bit like a struggle for them to get out the door because not many people were pre-ordering after that. And then once people got this Dick Tracy in hand, they're like, oh my God, this is so good. Everybody's playing catch up. But by that time, all the other figures that they already put out is already like gone out. And
Mezco has just a few misses, honestly. Like I'm looking at my shelf right now and like that, I mean, it's not like they put out a perfect figure every single time, but a lot of times, like I kind of have faith in the company to just put out bangers, honestly. Not to say that there haven't been figures that I've gotten in hand and I've been like, why did I buy this? Like, because that has happened. But generally, like, they're my favorite company. I'm just like, abuse me more, Daddy Mezco, please. Like, I just really like their toys. Yeah, I got Doc Ock, and I've got a broken tentacle out of the box. And
oh no!
Yeah,
how did he break?
I don't know. I got it out of the box, and I mean, I've got them right here. Hold on. So I'll probably have to turn this virtual background off, but
that's all right. Here, let me take this down for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so if you notice this, like it supports itself, right?
Yeah.
But then, which one is it? Did I swap it out? No, it's this one. So this one, if I straighten it out, it just falls.
Oh,
so what happened is the wire is snapped right. The wire is snapped inside right here.
Yeah. Oh, right at the connecting point.
Yeah. So, I can pose it and I can put it in positions, but no matter where I put it, it just falls.
Right.
Like it just falls. Like I can't.
But they also give you the other shorter.
Yeah.
parts.
Right.
You can
But
actually,
for, $140 or whatever this figure
Exactly.
was, like,
yeah.
and then I've got some, watch out, guys.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hey, wait, let's give you full screen on that.
Yeah.
It is praying at the.
Could you see? But yeah, I've got torn fabric and stuff right out of the
Torn
box.
fabric right by the moose knuckle. Yeah, you don't want
Which,
that.
I messaged them and they said they're backed up 12 weeks, but they are going to replace it. So,
All right.
that's all I can ask for. So at
Tenticular
least they
dysfunction.
responded and whatnot.
Tenticular dysfunction affects many mad scientists.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I just really like. I find that Mezco figures photograph the best. I think it's because of the soft goods, honestly. Like, just less reflective plastic. Like the soft goods absorb the light, and they make for better photographs, I think.
The
And
tailoring has gone up too.
someone actually, so I want to comment. Man, Beast Boy, I've flagged this. The tailoring has been so good last year, and you're seeing a huge, not just in Mezco, but like even in the protector figure, right?
And third parties.
Yeah, the third parties is just really making a huge difference in a lot of what's going on out there. I got a couple of comments here we want to highlight. Jurassic Jester saying, if you're not following Ian, what are you doing? So make sure you go out there and give Ian a follow if you're not already following him. Your samurai shots were insane, so I'm gonna have to do some digging here to go get your samurai shots for Wade.
Dude, I love the Japanese aesthetic. Like, anything Japan, just throw it at me, man. I'll buy it.
So did you pre-order Samurai Jack?
No, it's too cartoony.
Okay.
Like the cartoon aesthetic doesn't really fit my collection. So if that was like a real samurai, I would have been all over it. But I was also, I think, just a little too old when that cartoon came out. So I don't have any like nostalgia for it or anything.
Yeah, never too old for cartoons.
I do like bonsai. My other hobby is bonsai, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, I've got almost 30 trees.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, I love bonsai. So I have like Japanese like Legos and everything. I just love the Japanese aesthetic, man. It's beautiful to me.
All right. I think you're gonna have to come back on and just show us your bonsai collection. I think that'd be fun.
I'd love to. They're all inside right now because we're getting a deep freeze down here in the south. So if I kept them outside, so I have plastic all over the floor in one of my rooms, and I had to bring all the trees in, and then I got to take them all back out tomorrow when the sun comes up, and then bring them back in. Yeah, but they're like pets. You get to learn to love them, and you take care of them like pets, and so.
Pets like don't go anywhere, which is good. You don't have to chase them down when the mailman shows up. Caploop says going through his feed, I've missed so many the algae.
Dude, I've missed so many too. Like when I opened his page, I have to put it on favorites. That's what I got to do.
Yeah, it's a good call.
That way I get an alert every time he gets a post out.
I think that I was shadow banned for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any proof of that, but like my posts, like. I have like 6,000 some followers, and I wouldn't even get 1% of my followers that would see my pictures when I would go view the insights. And so I'm just like I don't know what I did wrong or who I pissed off over at Instagram, but it seems like that is kind of worn off in the past couple months, or like since the beginning of the year. I'm starting to like gain followers again out of the blue. And starting to get engagement. And when I look at my insights, like more than 1% of my followers are seeing my pictures, which is great. But yeah, for a long time, I would just like post and it felt like it was just going to the wind.
Right. And your posts aren't really like super violent or anything. Or I don't know why that would happen.
Do you guys know 80sburg? So 80sburg, I always say this, and I never really realized it about my photography until he brought it up, but he was like, your pictures always show like right before the violence or right after the violence.
It's kind of true.
Like right during it.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's almost like you capture the human moment either before
Mhm.
or after. That's true. Yeah, you're really. It's the emotional moment. You don't capture the actual hit, but it's like
Right.
the what's
Yeah.
driving that person to do it, or the repercussions of what has happened now.
And that's why I
Yeah.
like these photos, because it's like it
Yeah.
leaves the viewer to interpret that action,
Yeah.
right? Like what just happened or what's about to happen. You're literally just letting us fill out the rest of the story in our heads.
It's
Yeah.
a really.
Yeah, totally. I mean, so I had one picture, and it was kind of a defining moment for me.
Mhm.
But it was a picture of a table, and there was a phone on the table, and the phone was just hanging off the side of the table. And then I just photographed the figure's arm. Like all you see is an arm laying there, right? So like there's a and once I took that picture, like it was just like a light bulb went off in my head, where I was like, this is it. This is my style. Like I found it. Like I found my
Mhm.
voice. Like in
Yeah.
that moment. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like to lead things in shadow and to imagination as well. You know.
I'm trying to scroll for that photo, but like
Yeah, I'm not
even
sure
in
where it is,
scrolling
but
for that photo though, you
You're
get
finding so many other shots that you want
find
to talk
that
about.
that well, but no, but that like symbolize exactly
yeah,
what he's talking about, right? Like
Right.
it's this quiet moment, but you see that the gun is on the table, so like clearly something is either about to happen or has happened.
Right.
And kind of the same thing. There was another one here. I scrolled past.
You know what I think might have been the shadow banning? It's the smoking and the tobacco and the
uh,
alcohol, because that
yeah.
sometimes they'll
maybe.
shadow ban that stuff.
Yeah,
I wish
I
they
mean,
would
it could have
tell you
been.
though. I wish they would tell you.
They won't.
Um,
It's like they won't let it ride that wave on the algorithm.
yeah.
Basically.
I
Look
I
at this.
mean,
Look at this. Oh god, look at that.
yeah.
Damn, dude.
So yeah, I was kind of
I think they shadow
experimenting
ban you
with.
because you're too talented. That's what I think it is. They're like, let's give
Let him
other
speak.
people a chance. Sorry, did
Well,
I cut
that's
him off? I'm
kind of
sorry.
you.
Yeah.
I
What were
don't,
you
I don't,
saying?
I don't feel that way all the time, for sure. Like people tell me they appreciate my work and everything, but I don't know. Like you're just your own worst critic,
Yeah,
and
always.
Oh yeah.
I just don't feel like I look at other people. Henrock is in the chat. Like I look at Henrock's work and I'm just like, man, like how can I be more like Henrock? But that's the thing. I can't force myself to be somebody else. Like I can only do what like I if I tried to do Henrock, it wouldn't work because
Right.
I'm
Right.
not him. Like all I can do is like have my voice and do what I'm good at. And whether that resonates with people or not is
Yeah.
not up to me, you know?
Yeah.
I do think though that you could see some hints of like influence from other photographers. Like if you look at Henrock's stuff earlier to now, you could see that he's been a follower of yours, but you could see that your style has also influenced his style.
You think so?
I think so.
I think Henrock is Henrock. I mean, just a few shout outs like Henrock, What's Up Danger, Sergeant Bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I think these guys are all just killing the game, just absolutely killing the game, and I think any of them could be professionals in this industry. And um, Max Fisher, he's another one. God, man, he's so good. His work is so good.
Yeah.
Um, and I just any of them I think could be professionals in this game, but I know that I never will be because my stuff is just too dark. I know it, and like I got suicide shots, like
Oh, that's
like
another shadow banning thing.
Oh yeah.
Suicide shots.
Yep. So
That's on Henrik.
yeah, 78.
Yeah. And 78
Yeah,
also
I mean,
commented
you'll
that.
see his
Yeah.
dios all over my work too. 78. I love 78's work.
He does great
Like,
work. Yeah.
He's taking credit for everything here. He says he taught everything. Ian too. He taught everything. So, but yeah, shout out to 78s for being here. I had a couple of comments that I think we've highlighted that I just want to get to real quick. And just kind of what you're talking about, right? Like something, Steve struggling with the same time, what you see up here doesn't always translate. And it's just kind of, having to work that through or come up with a different idea,
I think
Yeah.
a lot of us struggle through that, right? Like I
you got to
struggle through it.
you got to kind of evolve as you're setting up, right? Because like I said, I'll come to the table with an idea, and usually what's in my head is not what the final image is. You know what I mean? Because what's in my head just doesn't translate. Or like sometimes I'll think of like a comic panel, or I also get a lot of inspiration from like pulp detective novels, like the hardcover or the covers from detective novels. I'll just scroll around Pinterest looking at those, and there's so many cool pieces of art on those old novels. But like something like that will inspire me, and then I'll be thinking of that, and then you get it in front of the lens, and whether it's because of depth of field or just framing, or it just doesn't work, right? So you got to evolve in front of the lens and just translate your idea in a different way, right?
And also like working with setting things in your camera to how you have pictured it in your head. It doesn't always translate so well, because it's like you're also working with a difference in size of like the objects that you are using in your head. So like even positioning the lights in different areas, so it'll take you time to probably position the lights the right way you want it, so you can get that little rim light to set figures apart from one each other, right?
Yeah, that's probably where I spend most of my time.
Yeah, that's where I spend a lot of time. It's just the lighting, where to put it.
Photography is the art of capturing light. That's what it is. I mean, at its barest root. So like lighting, photography is the language of light, and if the lighting is off, like it just doesn't work for me. Like I spend most of my time in lighting, setting up the lighting. It takes most of the time, and I'll get frustrated and whatever. So and figures will fall over 10 times. Like I'll move a light, and then all of a sudden the figure falls. And you're like, God, but it's just part of the game. Whatever. The lighting is the most important in my style.
I saw Jay Shot with a smile when you said figures will fall over. You're muted.
Yeah, no,
I'm muted.
No, I was muted. Yeah, dude. I mean, because my figures fall over all the time, and it's like one of those things where it's just like, is everybody dealing with this, or is it just me? Yeah. So,
it's a constant frustration.
Yeah. I got a couple more comments I want to get to, with then I want to use your talk about lighting as a nice segue. Figure Fight Club saying smash that like button, something we are terrible about saying. So please go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go follow Ian, and then go just through and like all his photos so we can fight the algorithm for him. AZ Toy Hunters is here too, saying what's up. We got Rel Collects. What's going on, neighbor? We got Toy Mirth is here, and you talking about inspiration. I can definitely see, a playback between the two of you. You both have that kind of that playing with the sepias and the yellows in your shots too. Just really cinematic in there. There were a couple others I thought we highlighted, but we also got Toying Around is here saying hello there. And I think I got everybody. What do you got there? Falling Figures is why we are not domino photographers. That's good. That's good. And Real Life Perspective Show showing up too, saying, "Hey everybody, hi Dr. Nick." Yeah, go check out his shows on Friday nights as well. So you talked about lighting and how important lighting is to you. Lighting, in this rare instance with all of us, that lighting actually translates to your full-time gig, though. You are, you get paid to do lighting.
I do, yeah. So I work in the music industry. I work for a country band. I don't mind saying it's the Brothers Osborne.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but I've been touring for 20 years. The Brothers Osborne too, I'm working for now, but just to name drop some, like I've worked for Motley Crue, I've worked for Linkin Park, I've worked for Childish Gambino, MGMT. I've been doing this a long time. I've probably forgotten more artists than I remember, honestly.
What a flex.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so I was a music student in in college, and when I graduated, I got a job with Royal Caribbean, and so I was a jazz performance major, the most worthless degree ever, and so I was playing in the lounges, and I was playing these big like Broadway shows on the ship, right? And I only did 2 50-minute shows a day. That's it. And I was also on the smallest boat in the fleet. And so I had a lot of downtime, and I was bored a lot. And I met this dude on the ship, and he was one of the lighting guys, right? And we became buddies. And so to fill in some of my downtime, I would just go and help on the stage, you know, and he taught me like some very basic things. And then the cruise ship gig ended, and realized I didn't want to do that anymore, you know, and there was a children's theater in my hometown that was hiring for a lighting guy. And I was like, well, I don't know much, but I know a little bit. And they were like, you're hired. Wow, okay. So I kind of started this journey in my late teens, early 20s at a children's theater. And then working at the theater, I met someone who was doing music festivals, and then I started doing music festivals, and then I met someone who worked at a venue, and then I started working at venues, and then I met somebody who was doing movies, and then I started working in movies, and then I met someone, and it just kept snowballing like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then someone noticed my work ethic, and they gave me a business card, and they were like, hey, call this guy and drop my name. And then I did, and I was offered a job out here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I moved out here, and I haven't submitted a resume in like 20 years. It's all just been like meeting people and just doing a good job on site, you know what I mean? But I will say, with 20 years of lighting experience on the stage, it's nothing like lighting for photography. They're two totally different beasts. You know, like the lighting in your photograph lasts forever. The lighting for a concert, it's all just flash and trash. You know, it's like, I mean, it's hitting the beats. It's, you know, it's making the artist is the primary target, and then the rest is just enhancing that performance. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of movement and color changes and strobing. And so it's not like perfecting your light on a single source. You're doing a lot of things, movement, color, there's a lot going on, you know, so it's just a whole different beast. But yeah, I do get to do lighting for a living. That's
awesome. Flash and Trash is also the name of my autobiography.
How many autobiographies do you have?
So many. I've got so many stories to tell.
That's what they called you back in prison too, right?
Yeah, right. Flash and Trash. Anyway, Wade says dude's bio is coming out like a create your own character, putting all his skill points on awesome. So there you go. Also, I gotta call out Steve's comment. Ian was bored, started learning, and then was so good that it opened up possibilities for other good possibilities. I like that, you know, you talk about that, or you haven't submitted a resume in over 20 years. It's awesome. It's just, you know, you're meeting people, you're learning new things, and you just keep using that to keep moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anybody on this stream that's ever interested in touring, like 90% of it is like getting along with other people on a bus and just being cool and chill. And the other 10% is what you know and what you're able to do, you know, like, you know, because you got to think like on tour, you're living with, like in my case, I'm living with 11 other people on a bus, you know. And we're just zooming down the street, and it's tight quarters, and you smell everybody's farts, and you know, it's like, it's not glamorous. It's not, you know, backstage at a Motley Crue concert in the 80s. You know, that's not what touring is. But, you know, you gotta be calm, cool, collected, get along well with others, and just be easy. You know, if you're a drama queen out on the road, you're gone. You could be the best lighting director in the world, but if you're a drama queen, ain't nobody got time for it, you know.
That goes a long way too, right? not just touring.
No,
I mean,
for a lot of things,
I had to learn it the hard way, you know. I mean, I've lost my temper so many times, and now I'm better with it now, but like, when things aren't going your way and the stress is building and you're on this crunch time schedule and you only got 3 hours of sleep last night and it's rough out there, and all it takes is one small thing and you're just like, it just
Sets off the
snaps.
fuse, right?
Yeah, and to learn to control that has been, a journey in my own right, for sure. But I'm getting better at it, for sure.
As long as progress forward is still progress, right? So
Yeah.
Ian, who Jukebox Hero here? We won't sing. That's Yimbo's thing. Says, who would your dream band to light a show for? Who's your dream band?
They're all dead.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
I'm old school, man. Like, my favorite artist of all time is Ray Charles. I love Ray Charles. Sam Cooke is another one of my favorites. I like the Coasters. Like, I love like 50s and 60s soul music, and then I love like a lot of 90s hip hop that I grew up on. But yeah, touring hip hop is like a whole nother challenge. Touring hip hop sucks. I don't want to do that. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Also, I will say, never meet your idols. Don't meet your idols.
Is there a story there?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's just people like you'll have images of these celebrities, right? And then you get into personal situations with them and you're just usually let down. The artist I work for now, I've been with them for 6 years, and there's a reason I've been with them for 6 years, and that's because they're awesome. They're like killer people. They take care of us. They're awesome people. But there are artists I've worked for, and like, you can't, if you're walking down the hallway, you can't even look them in the eye. Like, you're told, don't look at this person. Don't look at them.
Oh, I know about that. Like, the first time I was on a set. Jason, if you want to talk about this, I don't know if you want.
Yeah. So one of the first times that Matt and I worked together is he was on a commercial shoot, and I had sent him an email being like, "Hey, you're going to be on the set tomorrow. Just real quick, don't look the director in the eye. He's just one of those guys. He's just like a real jerk." And then Matt got the call sheet, and Matt Hussein was under the director for the call sheet.
Yours,
mine. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a fun
I didn't know. I got
a text back that said, "Son of a bitch." Yeah. So it was great.
So I picked him up. I picked him up to drive him on set, and I did not look at him in the eye.
Yeah.
Not once.
Would have been worse if you stared me in the eye and didn't look at the road the whole time. That would have been worse. So.
I mean, I have some stories, man. Obviously, it's not for a live stream, but like, if anybody wants to reach out in private or whatever, I'll share some stories with you. But it's just let me just put it this way: I've never toured with one of my idols, right? Yeah. But like the person on stage typically is a character that's being played,
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not who they really are. And then, at the end of it, they're tired and they're cranky too. And just the road is hard, man. The road is hard. It seems like from the outside, like, I can't tell you how many times people are like, "Oh, that is so awesome." And I'm like, man, if you only knew. If you only knew. Like, it takes a strong person to survive. Like, I've seen so many people just get weeded out of this industry. Like, you're either cut for it or you're not. And it's hard. It's hard, and you got to make a lot of personal sacrifices. You saw my little one at the top. Like, I was just in the UK for a month doing shows, and like, to be away from her for a month, like, it sucks, man. It sucks. So there's a lot of personal sacrifices, but 20 years deep, I don't know what else I'm gonna do for a living, man.
It's true.
I'm getting older and older.
Yeah. You get comfortable in it. KJ says, "I toured back when I was doing mixed martial arts. Unfortunately, my career ended after I entered the Kumite." So,
what is that? Dr. Strange's?
What was that? Bloodsport?
Bloodsport, yeah.
Oh, Bloodsport. Okay.
Yeah. Bloodsport.
Or Kamar-Taj was Dr.
Kamar-Taj.
Yeah,
Kamar-Taj. Yeah. Yes. Wait. KJ, never sweep the leg, but never sweep the leg. William Houston said, any tips for increasing one's focal range in miniature photography?
Yeah, I mean, as you increase, so I'm a little confused by your question. So focal range would be like how many millimeters you're shooting, whether you're shooting with a 50 millimeter or shooting with a 200 millimeter lens or whatever, right? Focal distance has to do with there's glass in your lens, and where the light refracts to a single point, or refracts is the wrong word, but where the light comes to a single point, the distance between that single point and your sensor is the focal range, right? So if you're at 50 millimeters shooting with a 50 millimeter lens, that means where your glass is focusing the light is 50 millimeters distance from your sensor, right? So if you're just trying to increase your focal range, just buy a lens and pop on a different lens, right?
Yeah.
So, but you might be asking depth of field. If you meant depth of field, that's kind of like your focus, right? How, like, if you want your background blurry, right? So if that's what you mean, if you want to increase your depth of field, right, you increase your f-stop. So your f-stop number, you would just crank that up. And as you do that, your picture is going to get darker and darker. So the higher your depth of field, the more light you need. So if you're trying to increase your and I don't know if that's what you were asking. You can let me know if I'm on the right track with what you.
Yeah, but this is good though.
I think you covered both.
Yeah, but it's certainly good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you increase your depth of field, you need to keep adding light, because what's happening with your depth of field is you have an iris inside of your camera. So if you're at like 2.8, you're open wide, right? So it's letting tons of light through that iris, right? And as you step up, right, you're getting smaller. So as you get smaller, you get more in focus, but your iris is letting less light into the camera. So you have to really start upping your lighting intensity. It would be the proper word. So the intensity of your lights need to crank up as you increase your depth of field.
By the way, you nailed it. So there you go. So Williams is very helpful. Thank you. So
cool.
There you go. Toy Addict is here. So that was the other one. There it is. Here we go. Toy Addict. Don't forget to check out Danny and Worthy Collector on a Worthy Addiction, Unworthy Collector on a Worthy Addiction tomorrow night too. We didn't even touch on, we're getting close to our time here. We didn't even touch on the 3D work that you're doing. I know that I picked up, and I still haven't shot it yet, and I apologize. I picked up the architect, not architect.
Yeah, I called it just the architect's desk, but it could be whatever you want, really. I've got it right here, but let me turn off my virtual background here so you can see properly. But yeah, this is just a little desk I created, and whoops. And
still
all the
beautiful,
props. So I made like a little vintage, where the camera's weird, vintage radio to go with it, and all the drawers are functional, and made a bunch of scrolls and stuffed it with paper, and I think a bunch of stuff fell off, but I've got a bunch of books and ashtrays and jars and vases, and I was just trying to think of like what would you find on an archaeologist's desk or whatever. But
archaeologist, that was the word.
Yeah, I just I've been modeling and doing some 3D work and trying to get better at that, and it's just kind of a hobby, and not something I take too seriously. I've been just having fun with it, and just started learning 3D model to create things so I could have things that I need for pictures that I don't have.
Right. So I think that's kind of the cool thing about it too, is that you made that, you made some other stuff that we talked about, but it's like you're making it not only just because it's like, oh, this is something cool and we make it, but you're making it with like a toy photographer's eye in mind. You're making it to either come apart or to give you options, but then also it's just like the detail that you put into that too, to just kind of help plus the shot is really incredible.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying as a photographer, like these are the things I've made are the things that I want,
Yeah.
and it ends up that, other photographers want them too, which is great,
Yeah.
Mhm.
There are some things that I'm working on that I would love to talk about, but can't yet, but
Come
I
back for
will.
part 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I will let you know what those are when I'm ready to reveal them. But I think I've got some exciting things on the horizon that I think people are going to be stoked on. I just gotta kind of figure out the workflow because
Yeah.
I can't handle it all by myself, basically.
We need to
So
do a photographers round table.
Yeah.
I
We
would
could do
that
it.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Like a dinner for 5, a little John Favreau
Yeah.
type of style thing. So
Yeah.
you got Rhino stopping in saying, let's do it live. Let's do it live. It's his favorite quote whenever he sees us. And then a very generous super chat here from the Toy
Wow.
Amigos. Thank you, man. Thank you. Really
Thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you, Cheney. Or whoever's running the board tonight. I really appreciate it. And then we said his name and he appeared. Just like Joe Henry. It's unworthy collector saying hello humans. 78's you're talking about things that you want to make. 78 says he wants an Ian. Can't make him,
Oh,
unfortunately. So
we might have
so,
with AI is getting stronger every day, buddy. You
That's
might have
true.
your own little AI Ian on your desktop before you know it.
True. There you go. Cap Liv says I definitely tune in to a toy photography roundtable.
Yeah.
So all right, something in the books. Hopefully
Cap's
we'll get it out
definitely a
before.
person that I would like to have on there too.
Yeah, we'll get that going before somebody else steals it from us and does it without us. What so Ian, is there a figure or that you've pre-ordered or that you're anticipating this year that you're really excited about?
Oh shoot, what do I have?
You can curse now, by the way. We're past our 20-minute mark, so you're good. Yeah, don't feel like you gotta censor yourself.
I just told you I was in the UK for a month, and I came home to Doc Ock, Clark Kent, Doc Knock, I can't even remember. The Joker.
Oh yeah.
It was like Christmas when I got back home. Like all these figures showed up, and it was like, and I just haven't. Oh, and Biker Gomez just showed up yesterday or the day before, and I got so many toys at once. Like I don't have time to shoot them all, and like I need a little space in between my releases to give me some time. But now I'm just like so overwhelmed with everything I've got. Like I don't even know what to expect. I should be getting Casey Jones at some point if that ever ships. So I got that through the wait list, but it still hasn't shipped. I'm excited for that figure. A lot of people have been doing amazing shots with him.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can be fully honest, I don't even remember what I have pre-ordered.
I think it's something we all struggle with sometimes too, where you get a notification something shift and you're like, oh, did I pay for this already? I hope I did.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Mezco shredder. I hope that Mezco keeps doing turtle stuff. I would love an April O'Neil. I would love a Splinter. Shredder obviously is coming, but man, I'm struggling to think. You put me on the spot, and I can't remember what I have pre-ordered, man.
That's what we're all about here, just trying to throw you off balance because you're so good at everything else. We got to throw you off balance on something.
Oh, please. I struggle at more than I'm good with. I'll tell you that much. My personal life is just a mess.
It's okay. It's okay. We're all human, man. We're all human. We're all doing the best we can, and at the end of the day, dude, we're just playing with toys. So
that's right.
It's okay. It's all right to be struggling, and it's okay to take a break. It's okay to let personal life get in the way and influence what you're shooting too, man. Like don't apologize for that stuff. But yeah. So Wade Creates is working on things code for he can't talk. Working on things code for he can't talk about, like bull riding and archery, probably. It's that's quite the connection.
Bull riding in space.
Yeah, bull riding in space with archery.
And archery.
Toy Amigo said he'd definitely tune in for a roundtable too. So I guess we're gonna have to look into this. And then he's also putting Doc Chicken laughy face. I don't know. So Mezco April would definitely be cool to see. I'm excited too to see what when they put out Tangerine, because I think that'll be
I
the
know,
real
yeah. Oh, I
base.
do have
You know,
her. I have her
there you go.
pre-ordered as well. You know what I would love to see from Mezco, probably more than anything else? I would love a Golden Age penguin
Ooh,
with
yeah.
all those soft goods.
That'd be
Man,
cool with the
I
purple
think that
hat.
would be killer. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. You know, and the
And a
umbrella
Riddler.
and the tux and yeah. I mean,
I would like to see a Riddler too.
I'm down for all of the Rogues Gallery, like do it all. But like, I
Mhm.
think the penguin. Like Mezco obviously shines with the soft goods, and like that's the perfect figure to like shine with. You know, like I don't know. I would love to see that, but we'll
With the
see. Maybe
umbrella and the
25.
yeah, multiple umbrellas. I've been watching. This is gonna sound weird, but I've been watching Batman: Brave and the Bold. Have you seen that cartoon? I know. So
Mm-mm.
again, that's why I'm saying you're never too old to go back and watch cartoons. Um, but it pulled like if you watched it, and this is why I'm bringing it up. It pulled like from the Adam West campiness of Batman, and like made it more of like a modern piece to it too. So, but it pulls in all those villains in that style, right? So like in
Oh,
that
cool.
classic style, but then it introduces other villains that like you never would have gotten to see, but like a Two-Face in that, like kind of, I don't know, there is a classic Two-Face, but he looks like the one from Mezco. It's just cool. It's actually it's a really fun show.
Is it a new
You know,
show?
no, it's
No, it's
older. It's only got about 3 seasons. And it had probably, I just finished it actually. It had probably one of the best show like endings that I've ever seen. Like it was like a
Really?
really cool way to wrap things up. And there's times you're watching this and you're just like, this is a kids show? Like they did a whole episode about Batman finding out who killed his parents, and it was probably one of the best written shows I've ever watched. And it was
Wow.
just like, wow, like it goes down the whole Joe Chill thing. It was just really, really cool. Thank you, Cap Lives, for verifying me and making me feel seen.
I'll have
So
to check it out.
um,
I'm
there you
not
go.
very good with watching the stuffs on the streaming services.
Well,
Like I
you gotta
pay
get
for
off.
them all and I never watch. It's just like
Yeah,
insanity.
There's only
But
so much time in the day.
right. And you gotta
You know?
you gotta get off the bull ride. You gotta get off the bull and put the quiver down, before you can actually start watching cartoons. So yes, Aquaman is hilarious in the show. It's really, and he's voiced by John DiMaggio, which is great too. So um definitely give it a chance. If not, just look up
was
the
this
Joe
like a
Chill.
90s cartoon?
No, it was like
I think
a 2000. It was
right?
definitely geared towards kids,
Interesting.
hell,
Yeah,
your
I've never even
daughter
heard
might
of it.
love it, so
She
uh
hates Batman, and I
okay,
hate that.
well, then don't show her that. Yeah.
I know she's all about SpongeBob right now. SpongeBob is like her, and I can't hate on SpongeBob, but like
No.
I've tried. I have a Batman book right here that I've tried to get her into, and like I've gotten her like toys and stuffed animals because I love Batman so much, and
Yeah.
you just want your kids to love the same things you do, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't work like that sometimes.
You know
You
what?
know?
Sometimes though they go the other way and they start to love the things you love, and you're just like, and then they get too into it, and you're just like, stop! This was my thing. Like, like
Sounds like
go
you're
find.
speaking with experience right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. Go find your own thing, damn it! Like I know that you love Ninja Turtles, but like I love them. Never mind. I'm getting to So,
She likes
but,
Ninja Turtles more than she likes Batman.
okay.
So I'll take that. Yeah.
Well, you did something right, So there you
Yeah.
go. But Ian, have you done any of the cons? Are you going to be like showing up to a con this year, or doing any
I would
in-person
love to.
degrees?
I would
Yeah.
love to. It's really hard for me because of work. So the summer touring schedule is pretty intense, right? And the cons happen on weekends and concerts happen on weekends.
Yeah.
So, I have not been able to make it to one yet, and every single time I feel left out. Like I want to go so bad, it has never worked out yet.
What about November?
Yeah. That's a good one,
It just depends. Like my schedule this year, I don't have as far as November yet. So, if I were to buy a con ticket right now, I guarantee you they'll book something in November tomorrow. I promise you.
I feel that in my soul. I feel that there's always something that goes on.
Yeah, it's one of those things I just got to kind of wait till we get closer to the time, and then like if it looks like it's going to work out, like I can jump on it then, but it has yet to work out. Legion's Con, obviously San Diego, New York. I haven't been able to do any of them because of
I
my work
think-
schedule.
I think for you, you would enjoy Legion's Con the most.
Yeah.
Even if you
Yeah.
don't do Legions, if you don't do Mythic Legions, there's so much stuff there that's made by the community for photographers that you'll find something that you would definitely enjoy.
Yeah.
Like you could, whether it's the dioramas, props, custom figures.
Yeah.
There's-
How do you get it all home? You just ship it?
I mean, you could ship
we
it.
drive it.
We
Yeah.
drive it. We're like 40 minutes away from it, but like
Mhm.
a lot of people will either pack it in their luggage or they'll ship it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus you just got the community there. And I mean, I think that's the getting the
That's
chance
what
to
I
talk
would
to
be more
everybody.
interested in. You know,
Yeah.
doing this hobby, like I've met so many people. And that's another thing is like if I know where you live, like if I know you live in a certain area and I'm coming through there for work, right? Like I'll holler at you. Insightful Imagery came to one of my shows.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was trying to get. So I met up with Ganj Weefray. I don't even know how to. I asked him how to say his name, and I forgot. But
I know who you're
met up
talking
with
about.
him,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
yeah, I met up with him in the UK. So that
Cool.
was cool to meet him. But yeah, so I've gotten to meet some people, but usually they come to me. Like I get them tickets or whatever, and they'll come to me and whatever. But that's usually how I get to meet people. But I would love to go to a con one day, man. Hopefully it'll work out
Yeah.
before I die.
Well, I'm sure that's a long time coming. So we'll get you to one of these
We'll
cons.
get you to one of
before
these
then.
cons. Yeah.
Wade Create says, J Shot, you don't even know about the lore, kid. These are dad's toys. Same here, dude. Thank you for feeling me and for understanding what I'm getting at too. And then I like Steve's comment here says on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. J Shot's kids have a stream on YouTube about dads that buy turtles. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, I would not be surprised at all. So Ian, dude, we're coming up on time, man. Anything else? I mean, first off, you have to come back and do a part 2 with us because
Hey, I would love to, man.
There's so much we haven't touched on. Yeah, there was even things that we were talking about beforehand that were like, well, we'll talk about this. We haven't even gotten there yet. They haven't even scratched the surface. So you're gonna have to come back and do a part 2. But anything? I know that there is something that you got coming up on March 1st that we said we would kind of
yeah. So
I
participated in the first Toytography Challenge. It is sponsored by Toytography Magazine. It will premiere on YouTube on March 1st. Yep, that's it. Big Bad Toy Store sponsored it, and it was an elimination contest. So there were 5 challenges, 5 contestants, and every single night we had 24 hours. We were given a challenge, and then we had 24 hours to complete that challenge. And then unfortunately the hardest part was like, well, I can't say too much because I'm under an NDA until it airs, but definitely tune in. It was a very interesting experience, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it, and hopefully it's successful and they'll do more with more contestants in the future. That would be cool to see.
Yeah. It definitely the sneak peek you gave us behind the stage here was pretty cool. So definitely go check that out. We'll plug it a few more times here. Wade says, love the samurai shots, Ian. Awesome live. She says, Wade, I tried, man. I was trying to get through the samurai shots. I owe you some samurai shots next. Hey, wait, I think I got one. We can touch on this right before we go here. This one, I wanted to make sure I get it for you, Ian. So Wade. Ian, Wade. I don't know. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. What'd you do? I mean, is this color the color on you using gels or?
No, I usually shoot with a warmer color temperature.
Okay.
And then the BTS doesn't really show it, but you can see I do have some colored light in there as well, some magenta and some blue. Cool. And then I'll shoot with a warmer color temperature on my camera as well.
Yeah.
And then, there's also a color grade in post in there as well. So unfortunately it's not just one straightforward answer.
No, dude, it's part of the process. And, I think it's good to share these with everybody. So
Mhm.
and there you go. Henrock says hit him up when you're around New York. You'll buy him a beer.
For sure, bud.
Yeah.
Would love to.
I don't think Henrock's ever bought us a beer, man.
Yeah, seriously, what
Oh
the hell,
man,
Henrock?
step up,
About-
Henrock. Come on now.
Damn it, Henrock. All right, you're out. Henrock's out of that round table now until he buys us a beer.
Wait a second, Henrock. You know what, Henrock? I want my lens back. He has my probe lens.
There you go.
This is what you get for being nice.
That's
All
right. Way to try to be nice on our show, Henrock. Oh. All right.
Well, I appreciate you guys so much for
dude,
having
of
me
course.
on, man. This was a
Yeah,
blast
yeah.
and a pleasure to meet you guys digitally in real life.
Yeah, and if you come
Yeah.
up to Henrock after come up to New York after Henrock's done buying you a beer, we'll hang out with you too.
Yeah,
I would love
so
that,
we'll,
man.
We'll be pretty close. But there you go, Tricks Blast coming in at the last few seconds here. Machi, you got anything you want to plug this week? You got anything going on?
Nothing really going on this week. I think next week we got Toy Fair, right?
Next week's Toy Fair all
Yeah.
weekend, so
Yeah.
we'll come check that out. So Wade says, see, you can meet your heroes, Ian. You can meet your heroes. So there you go. Sorry, amigos, next round on Henrock. But yeah, dude, I appreciate the hell out of you being here, and I know we got so much more to talk about, so I'm excited for part 2. But to everybody who's watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you guys. We wouldn't be here without you, especially not, on our road to episode 420. So I don't know where it's going to start a thing here, but this has been an amazing night. And Ian, seriously, man, thank you so much. And nothing left to say. Go home, go make some content, go be proud of yourselves. And Matsu, cue that outro, bud.
Peace.